Hello, welcome to this week's pricing. So these are the prices for everything that's going to go on pre-order on Saturday, which includes Kragnos and all the other Broken Realm stuff. We've also got one item for 40k and a little bit of Black Library. So I didn't do my usual Sunday night reaction to the new products just because I was at Games Night, which made a welcome change from the norm. So that was the first proper game night we've had in just over a year, so it was really great to get back and roll some dice, even though I got my butt kicked as usual. But anyway, let's get on with the releases. It's worth noting as well that there are 4 new Broken Realms boxes which weren't mentioned on yesterday's article or on the video, but we'll get through to that as well. After I go through the pricing, I'm just going to give a few words about my predictions for Dominion, which is getting its unboxing on Twitch through Warhammer on Saturday. So if you're interested in that, that'll be at the end of the video, or if you're interested in pricing, let's get on with that now. But just one final thing, I also give some opinions on Warhammer Plus at the end of the video as well. So it's more of a ramble than anything else, but you know, for anyone who wants to hear what I think about it so far, given the little we know, that is also there as well. So we'll start with the only 40k item, so that is the new chapter approved for 2021. So a new Grand Tournament and a new Munitorum Field Manual. Now, I didn't even get a chance to play last year's, however, this one is out now, £25 or €32.50. Next up, we've got Broken Realms Kragnos book, so there's going to be an exclusive version available on Warhammer's website, plus there's going to be a digital version, but the standard hardback is going to be £25 or €32.50. Next up, Daughters of Cain, the Melusai Iron Scale, that's £21 or €25. Next up, Cities of Sigmar, Galen and Doralia Vendenst. I was really hoping this would be part of Cursed City, but alas, that looks like that is now dying off. So that is £31.50 or €40. Next up, we have Lord Croak of the Seraphon himself. So that is £74 or €90. Now it's hard to believe, but I was expecting it to be a little bit more expensive than that. Not because I think that this is good value for money or anything like that, but it did turn out to be slightly cheaper than I thought it was going to be, especially when you compare it against our next one. And that is Kragnos, the End of Empires, a massive model with a massive price. So that is £100 or €125. Next up, we have the Warsong Revenant of the Sylvaneth, so that's £34.50 or €42.50. So next up we have Dexessa, the Talon of Slaanesh. This kit also makes up Sinessa, the Voice of Slaanesh, so that's £68 or €85. Now last, before we move on to Black Library and a little bit of chat about Dominion, we've got 4 Broken Realms boxes. Now we've got the prices of these confirmed, however the contents aren't. So I'll give you what I've seen on Facebook this morning. Now this is unconfirmed, so potentially just rumour. I'll give you what I've seen on there, but just be warned that it might not be the case. So first of all, we've got Broken Realms, the Butcher Herd. That includes a Bray Shaman, 6 Bulgors and a Cygor kit, again unconfirmed, and that is priced at £70 or €90. Broken Realms Dryker's Spite Grove, that is priced at £60 or €80, and the unconfirmed contents are Dryker Hammerdreth and 10 sprites. For Slaanesh, we've got Broken Realms The Exquisite Pursuit. This is priced at £55 or €70. That includes apparently a Contorted Epitome, 3 Fiends and 5 Seekers of Slaanesh. And finally for the Skaven, we've got Broken Realms Ratachak's Doom Coven. So that's £55 or €70. That is reportedly including a Bombardier, 3 Storm Fiends and the Warp Lightning Cannon kit. There's 2 Black Library books, so we've got the Realm Lords paperback, that's £8.99 or €12.50, and Gotrek and Felix, the 6th Omnibus, that's £12.99 or €15.95, and that is a hardback. Now, the last thing to talk about is Age of Sigmar Dominion. Now if you go on the Age of Sigmar website right now, you can see that there is a timer running down and it runs out at 6 PM UK time on Saturday, the same time as this preview. So what is Dominion? Well, the fact is that everyone is just guessing at it now. So I'm making an assumption that this is going to be the launch box for the 3rd edition of AoS, and that on Saturday we will get to see the contents. So I thought it'd be interesting just to chat for a minute or so just about what is potentially going to be in that box and kind of what I'd like to see in there and what I'm expecting from it. So it is a launch box for the new edition, so I'm expecting an Indomitus style box, so loaded and packed with content and all new content, so nothing that is currently available should be in that box, I believe. So let's have a think about it. So realistically, we're talking about Stormcasts and one new faction. Now the new faction has been rumoured to potentially be the Fimir. Now I haven't seen much about this, but potentially it could be. It would be interesting to bring these guys back. They are from the old world. It would be nice to see it again. It would be a massive launch for them if they were included in the new box, but again, just rumour, so I won't perpetuate that anymore. It will include the 3rd edition rulebook. Again, it might be like a great big giant version like we got for 40k in Indomitus. It will include battle line forces for 2 factions, plus I believe that all of the HQ that we get in those boxes will be similar to how they were in Indomitus, in that they will all come on one massive sprue. And I'm assuming that at some point early next year, that sprue will become available at a ridiculous price. Now speaking of prices, I've got a feeling that this is going to be more expensive than Indomitus was. Indomitus was at 125. There's been various price creeps and talking about discussions on general new releases being more expensive than you expect them to be. So I reckon that this will come in more around about the 150 mark. Now personally, I was hoping that this launch box was going to include some more of the undead stuff that we've had released in the last couple of weeks, but to be honest with you, there's so much of that stuff available now. We really did get a lot in a very short period of time, so I can't see it being related to vampires at all. That's all I've really got on it, to be honest. I could waffle on for even longer about it, but the fact is that none of us know enough about it to really make much more of an opinion on it. However, I do expect to see a few more information drops throughout this week as we get towards Saturday's preview. So anything significant that comes up or anything I find very interesting, I will definitely report on it. And then just before I go, I didn't report anything at the weekend about Warhammer Plus. I did see the preview. I think it's quite interesting. I am very surprised at the way they're going in terms of a kind of monetized monthly payment, which is what I assume it's going to be. I think it's a bit of a crazy move. It would be really interesting to see what the prices are. I just don't see enough content being available for this to make it worthwhile. What I think we will probably see is we'll just watch the content be drip fed very, very slowly. So if there is just 10 different things available, let's say they're all series, and let's say they've got 10 different episodes each, so that would be 100 episodes. I think that they will just drop 1 or 2 episodes a week so as they can stretch that content over a long period of time. Now, I know that people are unhappy because it's behind a paywall. I never expected that it wouldn't be, but I did actually expect this to be coming out on Netflix or Amazon or something like that. I certainly didn't expect it to be just available for free on the Warhammer website. Now, in terms of potential pricing, I've seen a lot of people very unhappy that, you know, they might be paying a £5 a month for this stuff or something like that. We'll know what the pricing is soon enough. But what I would say is that it's very, very difficult to compare this against the likes of Disney Plus and Netflix and Amazon and that kind of thing, just because it is aimed at an entirely different market. So all of those other services have got a really, really broad scope for the people that they're trying to entice into going for those subscriptions. This is very different. It's so much more niche that I'm sure that Warhammer are expecting people to pay a little bit more for less content. Now, when I say a little bit more, I'm not talking about that monthly payment. Netflix is now £12 a month or whatever it is. I don't think they'll be asking for that much, but I think in terms of when you look at it as a ratio against the amount of content available, then I think that GW will probably look at this and say, right, our fans are willing to pay a premium for the content we offer because this individual niche is unavailable anywhere else. So Warhammer specific content available only via ourselves, direct to our customers. We think that the customer is going to pay a premium for that, and I reckon that premium is going to be about £5 a month, something like that, which again is not a massive amount of money, but when you compare it to the content available on other platforms, it is high. But of course there is also the possibility that Games Workshop will just rip the pants off of it and charge us a tenner a month or something like that. So again, I'll come back with more when more information is available. I'll come back and just share my thoughts. It will be very interesting to see that price, and it will be interesting to see where the scope is in terms of available content further down the line. So if we get an announcement next month that says that there's going to be 40 new shows within the next year and a half, or that they have got other content available outside of their normal scope, I think people are more likely to buy into it. And again, like I say, this is a niche only available to us as Warhammer fans and Games Workshop fans, and I think that they will expect us to pay a premium for that. Having said that, if you look back at the Warhammer 40k app, I think that they expected a very similar thing there. So when the pricing was initially announced for that, I believe that was £5 a month, and it got very quickly dropped to about £2 a month because everyone that uses Battlescribe or something else looked at that and said it's just not worth it, it's too expensive, and that dropped to £2 a month. Although, you know, you could argue that that is still too expensive. Should we even need to pay for it at all? Some people will look at that and go, actually, £2 a month, I can just let that go through my monthly purchases, and it's not going to affect me greatly. I'm just going to leave it, and it will almost just sit there like a micro payment that people will just leave to keep going. I know personally I've been paying it for quite some time. I do feel like a total mug because I just haven't been using it. The other thing with Warhammer Plus that they need to think about as well is that if they launch, on launch day they've got all of the stuff that they've announced ready to go and watch. Everyone's going to watch that over the course of a couple of weeks and potentially cancel their subscription. So it will be interesting. But that is enough waffling from me for a Monday, so thank you very much for watching, much appreciated. If you enjoyed this, like and subscribe and all that good stuff, and I'll see you all again very soon. See ya.